Hello, Monsters Abound here. Creative Assembly have commented on the controversy surrounding the price increase for the Shadows of Change, which is the new DLC for Total War Warhammer 3, and I felt I should comment for two reasons. One, people keep asking me my take on it, and two, this dropped about 5 minutes before the embargo for the Total War Warhammer, well, Total War content partners embargo. So, bit of a chaos grenade being chucked in there by Creative Assembly at the last second. That kind of annoyed me. As such, I thought I'd comment on this. Also because I read this and it annoyed me. Particularly, there's a paragraph in here that really annoys me, but we'll get to that. I've not seen the response to this, the community response to this, but I have my suspicions. Right, let's just get into it. So, hi everyone, I'm Rob Bartholomew, Chief Product Officer here at Creative Assembly, which I'm assuming is like a just below Chief Executive Officer, so like, you know, executive management team. First off, I'd like to thank you for making your voices heard over the past week. Hopefully longer term Total War fans know that even when we're quiet, we're always listening to everything you have to say to us. We've had many conversations about it internally and would like to shed some light on the situation. Okay, well, I've been a Total War fan since Shogun, and when you're quiet, that doesn't necessarily mean you're listening to me. Also, the fact that you've only just decided to have this conversation about what the community thinks about the price increase suggests you didn't see the backlash coming, which I also think is probably an issue. Because if you didn't see it coming, then you're kind of blind to who didn't see this coming? Someone should have said something, right? How did this get waved through without anyone going, this is going to piss people off, we need to be prepared for that? Because it feels like they're not prepared for it. Anyway, last week we revealed the latest DLC for Total War Warhammer 3, Shadows of Change, bringing the Changeling, Yuan Bo, Mother Osten, Baba Yaga, and more to the game. The teams have been hard at work for some time, and we are excited for you to get your hands on it. To get right into it, our costs are up. Unfortunately, that means prices have to rise. We know any increase is going to be tough, which is why our prices have remained fairly stable over the past few years. The downside is that any increase today is going to be more noticeable. They're not wrong. Prices are up. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Inflation is hitting everyone. I can imagine that being a tech company, CA has a whole bunch of servers which are gobbling energy. They're also quite a large company, so obviously employee wages, although that can't be hitting them that hard because they pay fucking peanuts. As such, yes, I could imagine costs are up, and I guess, to a certain degree, price increases are understandable. I don't think anyone would disagree with that, right? We don't like to see price increases, but we're seeing price increases across the board these days. So would you be surprised if the latest DLC was another couple of quid? Probably not. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the general sort of like massive percentage increase. And then checking that against, say, I don't know, the Chaos Dwarf DLC. Is this one worth as much as that? Well, there's no good time to increase prices, and we have not taken this step lightly. However, this is the business reality of supporting Warhammer 3 and ensuring we're able to offer years of extra content that are currently planned. That said, we do need to challenge ourselves to ensure that this cost still offers good value. Ultimately, that's up for each of you to decide, and we'll keep trying to balance that. Of course, we want more people to play, we want to continue to deliver content you're excited to see, and we want to do that for as long as we can. I have issues with the way that Creative Assembly are supporting Warhammer 3, but we'll get to that. That said, you've not taken that step lightly. Okay, fair enough. Why didn't you see this then? Surely this should have been right. If you've only just releasing this statement, that suggests you've only just come to the decision to create this statement. You say you didn't take that step lightly, but it feels like it's because you thought you could get away with it. And it turns out that you can't. To share more on Warhammer 3 specifically, here is an update from Rich Aldridge, Senior Game Developer. With Shadows of Change, we wanted to break the mold of past DLCs to ensure that we could bring you as much content variety as possible. You all have your favourite lords, heroes and races to play, and restricting our products to a single race or faction hasn't always met your expectations. We also hope this would improve the pace at which we're able to get content to you, which has been a challenge. Has anyone ever actually had a problem with the Lord content packs? Like, I guess that, you know, people are like, oh, I can't wait till we get this Lord, or why haven't we had this race because they haven't had one in a while, right? That kind of thing. I get that, but like, has anyone really had a problem with that? Is that have I just been blind to that, or what? Because I don't think that's ever really been a problem. But okay. I'm really excited by what we've created in Shadows of Change in Update 4.0. The Changeling plays like no other in the series, scheming and tricking your enemies into conflict with one another while leeching off other settlements feels great, and we really hope it opens up new gameplay opportunities. I completely agree. The Changeling is a fucking triumph of game design. It is genuinely so different from the way any other faction the game plays. It's brilliant. Genuinely fantastic. I'm equally itching to see how you get on with Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, and Mother Baba Yaga. Two new characters from the series and Warhammer World, both of whom have their own agendas and are ruthless in their actions. I have opinions about Yuan Bo, and even more about Baba Yaga, but that's not for here. Talking of the patch, it offers a host of fixes, as you might expect, including Nakai once again being able to reuse his Kroxigors, Bretonnian Vows now progressing correctly in Campaign for Damsels, ranged units no longer running headfirst into melee when out of ammo, and Cathay Legendary Lords now having magical items. But that's just a few of the changes. Look at our full patch notes closer to release. Okay, here it comes. My main issue with Total Warhammer 3 is that if they want to keep producing content for it, they should fucking make sure the content already in it works. Because Nakai not being able to recruit Kroxigors is, well, considering he's the Kroxigor guy, quite a big problem. It's not game-breaking, but kind of sticks out like a sore fucking thumb, doesn't it? The fact is that this was broken, I think, in the Chaos Dwarf update, and they've only just got round to fixing it. Creative Assembly, that's not good enough, right? The fact that you hold this up as some reason that we should be expecting a price increase is fucking bonkers. The patch is a given. Oh, we're fixing the stuff that we broke. Good. I mean, that would have been good 3 months ago. It's not good now. Now it just looks shit. My question is, why is it taking this long? Why have you waited until a DLC to fix this stuff? It should have been fixed within weeks, up to maybe a month after release of the Chaos Dwarf DLC. Patching it now? What? I can't wrap my head around it. And then to put it in what is already going to, I suspect, inflame the community. I mean, people were already up in arms about the price, and also bringing up the fact that Immortal Empires / Warhammer 3 was not being supported enough. So now going, but oh yeah, but now we're actually supporting it because we're putting out a DLC, is because what else are you going to break? That entire paragraph should have just been left out. Right, don't bring it up. Not a good idea. To wrap up, I can't stress enough how much the team and I want the best for the game, and to provide you with fun and memorable experience. Changing the content formula and making other improvements behind the scenes is designed to help us do exactly that. We keep assessing and iterating as we stay on this path. Thanks, as always, for your support and voicing your concerns. Both are important to us. I hope you enjoy Shadows of Change once it's in your hands. I do enjoy Shadows of Change. I love Total War. I love Total War Warhammer. It's my favourite series. It's my favourite game. I just wish you'd support it. Because it feels like you're not. And then you go and put a price increase on it and expect people to swallow it. Anyway, so to recap, we know this is a tough change for some players. We know this may mean some of you will wait for future discounts or sales, and we know that the explanation does not make the situation any easier. But it's important for you to hear from us, and we hope that, if nothing else, this helps clarify why this decision had to be made. Finally, we need to ask you again to stop directing abuse at individual team members. Frustrated as it may get, they are human beings who spend many hours representing you and your voices within the studio. All of our work gets easier when they're treated with respect. I completely agree with that. Don't abuse the devs, right? 99.5% of the people that work at Creative Assembly have no control over the pricing of this game. They don't deserve your hate or your abuse. Right? The community management team, right? It's just their job. They just want to pay a mortgage with the pittance they're paid. Be nice to them. Certainly vent your frustrations, but don't target it at them. Target it Creative Assembly as a whole. And to be honest, I think the pricing is probably down to Sega because they're the publisher. So if you're really angry, I don't know, spray paint their hedgehog blue and punt it into overhead power lines. Obviously, don't do that. That's you have to find little red shoes for it first, wouldn't you? Yeah, but don't do that. Overall, I just find this statement tone deaf. It feels like something that's been iterated over by a bunch of executive managers who don't really understand why the people are angry at them. And I don't really understand who this is supposed to mollify, to be honest. This just feels like it's going to make things worse more than anything else. I genuinely don't understand why they didn't see this coming. I don't really understand why they decided to bring up the fact that they're now going to fix the stuff that's been broken for 3 months. It's just very tone deaf, unfortunately. I don't think this is going to help anything. I think they'd be better off just not saying anything, to be honest. But obviously, again, I totally agree with the final paragraph that you do not direct abuse at individual team members, because that makes you a fucking idiot. And I would also say that I think that the Shadows of Change DLC is genuinely pretty good. The Changeling is very good. He is definitely the shining star of the DLC in general. And I hope they do more stuff like that, along with, fixing the game way quicker and supporting it properly. So that's my hot take. No, I don't think this DLC is worth 20 quid. I think if they charge 15 for it, that would probably have gone mostly under the radar. I think people would have been grumpy about it, but mostly accepted it. But jacking it up to the price of the Chaos Dwarf DLC and offering less is like, no. So, well, thank you, Rob, I guess. That's all for me. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.